Assalamualaikum and very good evening to Madam Diana and my fellow friends. Today, our group will be present about the market structure, which is monopoly and perfect competition. Next slide.
Okay, I will present about the introduction. In this discussion, our group have choose monopoly and perfect competition market structure. This section will go over companies in Malaysia that use monopoly and perfect competition market structures, which is technology Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB) for monopoly market and Dutch Lady for perfect competition market. Next.
Okay, now on to the firm background. The first firm that we choose is Tenaga Nasional Berhad. During the mid-19th century, Malaysian generating plants were very tiny and led by the Central Electricity Board, or CEB. After the proposal of significant project, it then changed to a National Electricity Board of the States of Malaya, or NEB. Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB) is the sole seller of electric utility in Malaysia's market. On September 1st in 1990, the Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad had been declared that TNB is heir and successor to National Electricity Board of the States of Malaya, or NEB. TNB had customer base with a value of 9.2 million in Peninsula Malaysia, Sabah and Labuan. That consists of commercial, industrial and residential customers. This had made their sales had account for the majority in Malaysia's 31.7 million population. As a company that is a sole seller of service and had the majority customer in Malaysia within them, this had proved that TNB undeniably a monopoly type structure in Malaysian market. Next is Dutch Lady Milk Industry. Milk Industry Berhad. Okay, Dutch Lady is actually owned by Friesland Campina, which is a dairy company that mainly from Netherlands. Dutch Lady is their first production outside from the mainland, which is in Malaysia. Starting off as just private joint stock limited company and continues to evolve had put them to achieving as one of the world's largest dairy companies in Malaysia's dairy market. This also had put Dutch Lady to be the market share leader in the growing up milk segment, aside with their peer competitors such as Marigold, Enmam, and Nestle, which also a production of milk in Malaysia. Other than that, the company also developed various popular brands such as Dutch Lady, Dutch Baby, Frisolac, Friso, and Dutch Lady Pure Farm. As a market that had many competitors in the same segments, this had made Dutch Lady as a pure or perfect competition market structure in Malaysian market. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, next for the analysis on comparison of market structure, there are four parts, which is market size, nature of product, entry and exit barrier, and price. So I will present about the three part, which is first the market price. In a monopoly market, there is only a single firm that produces and sells output. Consumers are forced to buy output from the firm. Therefore, firms are also an industry in a monopoly market. For example, there is no other firm that produces output like TNB, and TNB is also an industry for the output produced by them. Meanwhile, the market for a perfect competitive market is large, which is it has many firms. Firms in this perfect competitive market are experiencing very fierce competition. For example, Dutch Lady has many rivals of uh, which these firms are also produce goods that are similar to the goods that produced by Dutch Lady, such as Marigold, Good Day, and many more. Next, nature of product. As the only firm in the market, the goods produced have almost no substitute. For example, TNB produces electricity and only TNB produces output such as electricity. Therefore, TNB is also an industry in this monopoly market. And TNB does not accept competition from the other firms. Meanwhile, Dutch Lady produces the same type of homogeneous output. For example, Dutch Lady is well known as a producer of dairy drinks such as milk. However, there are many other manufacturers that produce dairy beverage products similar to the product that produced by Dutch Lady, such as Marigold, Funleaf, Good Day, and many more. As a result, Dutch Lady received a lot of competition in this perfect competitive market. For the entry and exit barrier part, firms in monopoly markets face barriers to exit and rampage the market. Barriers in barriers to entry of new firms are in the form of enforcement or of rules and laws, economic benefits of scale, and mastery of certain raw materials and technologies. Losing monopoly firm find it difficult to exit the market, especially government monopolies that supply basic necessities to society. For example, TNB. This firm has no competition because no other firm can produce output like the output produced by TNB. In addition, the output produced by TNB is an output that cannot be produced easily. So TNB remains in a monopoly market. In a perfect competitive market, firms are free to go in and out of the industry. Existing firms in the market cannot prevent new firms from entering the market and doing business. If the existing firm can make profit, the new firm will enter the industry. On the other hand, if a firm incur a loss, the existing firm is free to leave the industry. Freedom of entry and exit of the firm occurs in the long run. The freedom of entry and exit of firm in this perfect competitive market caused by the number of Dutch Lady rivals to increase. Moreover, the output produced by Dutch Lady is simple and much as the same homogeneous. So that's all. The price part will be presented by the next presenter.
Okay, for the price, perfect competition do not have the power to control the price because the product is homogeneous and there are many sellers. The increase in price will make customer to change to another brand. Dutch Lady manufacturer is unlikely to able to raise their pricing over the market rate and still find a customer. Therefore, seller are the price taker. For the monopoly have power to control the price because only one seller exists in the industry. Same like the NB, they have the power over the price making them to gain more profit than perfect competition market. Next presenter.
Okay, for the SWOT analysis comparison, uh, Kenton stated that SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats is a framework for assessing a firm's competitive position and developing strategic plans. A SWOT analysis considers both internal and external factors, as well as current and future possibilities.
Okay, for the strength SWOT analysis, for monopoly, economies of scale are the monopolistic market strength. In a high fixed cost business, a single firm can benefit from economies of scale to decrease long run average cost. The second strength is to generate more profit. High profit make the NB available to strengthening the facilities to ensure that electricity is available in all regions of Peninsular Malaysia. Next is for the perfect competition. The first strength is low consumer exploitation because no power they have no power to change the price. Like Dutch Lady as a perfect competition market, they cannot increase the price. If they do so, their consumer might buy another brand. The second strength for perfect competition is need less advertising since the product was homogeneous. Same like Dutch lady, advertising is not very important as the product are well known by people. Next.
Okay, for the weakness, generally a firm's weakness prevent it from reaching its full potential. And there are several of weakness, such as a bad brand, higher than average turnover, higher levels of debt, and other weakness. Thus, TNB weakness, its reliance mainly on the Malaysian market and its and its low return on equity due to economies of scale and scope. Uh, TNB also TNB also has difficulty providing ongoing maintenance to the power plant. TNB also difficulty providing ongoing maintenance to the power plant because its maintenance staff is located in rural locations. While the Dutch lady industries Berhad facing the unstable domestic raw material milk, which can be described as there isn't a big scale of concentrate livestock, which means the breeding dairy cow is still a scarce resources. And for the last weakness for the Dutch lady, the fresh milk is not very distinctive, nor is it devised enough to entice buyers to choose the items. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the opportunity, which is the external elements that may provide a competitive edge to a company refer to as opportunities. Therefore, the TNB opportunities include the development of renewable energy power through the establishment of biomass plant and solar hybrid projects. TNB also must take consistent efforts to improve plant efficiency by utilizing new technology. Uh, Meanwhile, for the Dutch lady opportunity, their company can create a brand by depending on distributors to distribute Dutch lady brands through the system extensive distribution networks. Besides that, the Dutch lady also can use the powerful community channels such as social media. Uh, and last opportunity for the Dutch lady also for the Malaysia's environment, which is favorable for the production of plant dairy foods. Next slide. And for the last SWOT analysis is threat, which can be defined as circumstances that have the potential to cause harm to a firm. Uh, Therefore, the threat for the TNB is the lightning activity, which pose a threat to the TNB rural electrification program, which means the TNB facing some issues such as the purchases powers is moderate, while for the Dutch lady industry Berhad, facing an increase in the cost of imported raw materials such as the dairy cow. And for the last trade for the Dutch lady is they will face an increased competition in the domestic milk manufacturers such as Good Day and Desa Desa Kettle. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hello, for my part, will briefly explain on what bring the impact to this choice market structure during COVID-19 pandemic and have some recommendation for that. There are several things that bring the impact of COVID-19 to Dutch lady that represent as perfect competition market structure. For some point, Dutch lady milk industry Berhad net profit decreased to 16.87 ringgit Malaysian million for the first quarter ended March 31st, 2021, from 22.73 million ringgit Malaysia in the first quarter of 2020. Dutch Lady Milk Industry Berhad claimed that the market remained unstable and subject to the domestic and global uncertainties, foreign exchange rate fluctuation, potential regulatory changes, and pandemic impact, as well as expectation that global dairy prices remain high for the 2021. The impact of COVID-19 to the TNB that represent as monopoly have several issues that came up. Overall, the electricity demand declined before the overall effect of the COVID-19 and the PKP period. However, demand for May 2020 was down 28% from the May last year. TNB expects electricity consumption to decline between 7 until 15% year-on-year for 2020 due to the slowdown in commercial sector activity. In terms of impact of TNB is the latest power project effort, commissioning of work and commercial operation which had to be stopped and postponed to a time to be determined for effort to contain the spread of COVID-19 in the field level force. As for the recommendation, highly recommended for the industry to produce product that can strengthen immune system for now that can get more consumer attention during this pandemic. Dutch Lady Milk Industry Berhad must continue to support local dairy farmers and improve the quality and quantity of fresh milk in the country. As an important service provider, the recommendation to TNB play a critical role in assisting the Malaysian government efforts to revive the economy and help the life of those affected. Lastly, TNB must make effective plan while giving initiatives to its users and implement a balanced recovery plan so that its users not feel burdened at this difficult time. Let's proceed to the conclusion.
Okay, for the conclusion, as the conclusion, we can see TNB as monopoly market can gain more profit than that due to the low entry and exit barrier. The only seller in the market also one of the reason to TNB have control over the price, different with Dutch Lady in fact competition that have many seller and only act as a price taker. During pandemic, both Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB and Dutch Lady have been affected by COVID-19 and it has resulting in decrease in revenue and accelerated the asset depreciation. To solve the problem, both the NB and the SLAD can develop effective strategy and give support to local industry to reduce the burden from pandemic COVID-19. That's all from my group presentation. Thank you.